Hey guys, how is it all going? Thank you so much for joining me for what is my Cobweb movie review. Now, I'm going to give you a very short, very quick plot synopsis because the little you know about this movie, I feel it's for the better. So, this is going to be very brief and very short. So, Cobweb. The plot is there's a young boy who's a little bit troubled. He's being bullied at school. He starts hearing like strange tapping noises behind the wall in his bedroom. And that is literally all I'm going to say. I am not going to dive any more into that because this is a very hard movie to talk about and review without spoiling it. And you know me, guys, when it comes to new releases, I won't dive into spoilers. I won't ruin it for you. I want you to watch this movie and experience it, you know, fully by yourself with not knowing much about it. So, this movie, I am very mixed on Cobweb. Because there's so much about this movie I really enjoyed and loved. But then there's one major issue I really have with it, and I will get to that when I get to my negatives, but I always start with my positives, and I will say this. This movie is very well directed, and the cinematography is beautiful in this movie. I like the fact there was not a lot of jump scares in this movie. I was kind of hoping there wouldn't be. Like when I was watching the trailer to this movie, I thought, I bet you we're going to have a lot of fake out jump scares in this. And there are jump scares in the movie. There's like a couple that I can remember and think of, but they were done really well. And it built up the tension. And that's what this movie does really well. It builds up tension so well. Like shots get lingered on things you don't really know what's going on. And that's another like big plus I can give this movie. For a good chunk of this film, I'm so intrigued by what's going on. And I haven't got a clue what is happening, like what could be happening. I mean, like there was so many different ways this movie could have gone, but it had me hooked, and I was just so intrigued to see what the bloody hell is happening, what is going on. And that also comes across with the acting in this movie, especially the two actors that played his parents and the young boy. His mum and dad is Lizzie Chaplin and Anthony Starr, who is our boy Homelander from the show The Boys. I've been a huge fan of his since I'd seen him in Banshee, which, if you guys are watching this review and you haven't seen Banshee, I highly implore you go and watch that TV show. It is awesome. But anyway, we're here to talk about Cobweb. I thought their performances as his parents were fantastic. They are creepy. You just know there is something really off with them. And you can't really put your finger on it, but they're just acting shifty. And you kind of fear for the kid's safety a lot of the time, even though they're like, you feel like they're really trying to protect him, but at the same time, you feel like, especially, I would say, the mother could just go off at like any moment. But Anthony Starr like plays just fucking. He just plays like psycho, paranoid, just so well, so well. And he's brilliant in this movie as well. He's just, they're very unsettling. Very unsettling. And like I say, we'll come on to Lizzie Chaplin. She gives, I would say her performance is probably slightly over the top. I think she probably overacts a little bit. But it worked for me. Like, it really did work for me. And I thought she was brilliant in this movie. And again, very unsettling. You can't put your finger on just what's wrong. Like, what is it? What is going on? And then you come to the young boy. the young actor's name, and I think his name's Woody. I can't remember his last name. I'm really sorry. But man, this kid did a fantastic job in this movie. You really feel for him. And what the movie does well, and also with this young boy's performances, you're not too sure whether actually this is all in his head as well. Because his parents can never hear the knocking behind the walls of his bedroom. Like he starts to hearing like different things and no one else can hear it. And you're starting to think, well, hang on a minute, is this playing out in this kid's head? Is he like making all this up? And that's a route that the film could have gone down with easily and would have worked if it was. But you're unsure, and that's what I really liked about this movie. You didn't know where it was going to go, and it's very rare that I've watched a movie like that for a while, where I was literally like, I don't know where this is going, but I'm highly entertained, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm genuinely creeped out because it had some good visuals in it as well. There's particularly one which is in the trailer, so it's not spoiling anything. But there's one in the trailer where you see where the young boy sat up in his bed and you see his mum, who's looking creepy and weird, by the way, starts running towards the bed, but then the lights in the hallway start going off. Man, oh. And then she jumps into his bedroom and jumps on the bed. Even though I had seen that in the trailer, it still nailed me when I watched the movie. There was so much fuck that being said that it nailed me. It was so well executed, and I love it. I love it in these type of movies where even when they're giving us a jump scare, it's like kind of it's well executed, and I enjoyed that. I quite like that. It generally did make me jump, even though I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, but yeah, that was awesome. And I would like to see the director who did this movie. I'm actually intrigued by what he's going to do next. I feel like he does have a talent for horror. He has a talent for this kind of storytelling. And I would be interested to see what he will do next. I hope his next project is horror related because, like I say, I'd be quite interested to check that out. But, as I've mentioned before, my feelings for this movie are extremely mixed. And the reason why is, and I feel this will turn quite a few people who are enjoying the movie up until this point. I feel it's going to split the audience 50-50. You are either going to be extremely on board with what happens, or you will just think it's so dumb and stupid and make absolutely no sense when you really think about it, and it will lose you a little bit. And unfortunately, I'm on this side of that. It lost me. Like I said, I was so into this movie, and what I feared, the route they would go down, they went down. Now, it is so hard to talk about because it'd be going into spoilers. But what it felt like the studio had some notes. And it got to a certain point in this movie where they were like, right, now we need this to happen. Now we need a body count. Now we need this thing to happen here, for this to happen here. And it just felt... It's so hard to explain. It became like a movie that I was really intrigued by and didn't really know which way it was going to go or how they were going to go, to being a very predictable horror movie that I've seen a lot. It reminded me a lot of The Boy. I think I can say it reminded me a lot of The Boy. But where I thought it worked well in that movie, for me, it fell flat in this one. And I don't know, maybe that's my fault because I was just expecting something else. Like, there was like 3 or 4 different options that I think they might have gone down, which I think would have been a better choice. But like I say, I just feel like this probably was a studio decision. This was like, it had to tick certain boxes. That's how it feels. If it isn't, it isn't. But that's just how I felt. And it really did kind of bum me out. I'm not going to lie, it kind of did. I was like, well, All right then, that, that's that. That's what it is. And there was some effects that look great. Don't get me wrong, but then there was other effects that looked really, really, really not good. Like really not good. Like the reveal wasn't great at all. I was like, oh, that's bad. That's bad. But like I say, I I still recommend this movie though because there's a lot of good in this. Like I said, like take the last act, the last half an hour out this movie. For me, it was becoming one of my favourite horror movies of the year. I was enjoying what it was giving us. I really was. But like I say, just that last act, that last half an hour, just completely lost me. Like it just did. And yeah. But I still do recommend you guys check it out. So with that being said, I am going to give Cobweb. I will give it a 3.5 out of 5. But man, this movie was a 4.5, 5 out of 5 for me before the reveal, before the last half an hour. That's how much I didn't like it, that I wasn't on board with what they did, that it's dropped down to a 3.5 out of 5. But it's still a really good score. It's still a score that I say to you that you should check it out. But like I say, you could be, one of the group that when it does reveal what's happening, that you would be absolutely on board with, because there are people that generally enjoyed it. But just weren't for me. It just weren't for me. So guys, have you watched the movie yet? What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Were you on board with the ending? Were you not? Whatever it is, guys, please leave a comment below. It is absolutely always a pleasure hearing from you. And as always, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you again real soon. Take care, guys. Goodbye now.